in life, you have to invest in yourself by aligning your mind to the minds of great people. The minds of great people, sometimes you will not be able to get access to them directly to mentor you, but their books are there to mentor you. Their YouTube channels are there to mentor you. In this episode, we're going to be talking about why personal development is important to the success of your career or business, or both actually. And this, my friend, is going to be very, very exciting. So, to get started, a couple of years back, actually several years back, I was at that time studying in England, and actually London to be precise. And I think I found myself in one of the bus stations, particularly I think it's London Bridge bus station, that I was just waiting on a bus. At that time, school had closed early, and I didn't have anything doing that evening, so I was just loitering around, just doing window shopping over there. And I used to I was studying finance and accounting at that time, so I used to either buy the the Daily Mail newspaper or Telegraph, and then also Financial Times. Either I would want to sit somewhere in the cafe of a library to just scan through the title. I didn't even know what they meant, but what fascinated me the most was I wanted to see all the salaries of let's say finance director, finance manager, chief accountant. All those things fascinated me because that was what I was studying at that time. So every now and then, I do that, and it's like, wow, they're making that kind of money, that kind of thing. It's like, wow, this is crazy. And it also gives me hope that one day I'll be able to get those type of compensations, right? So that typically was the reason why I would walk into a bookshop or anything. So on this day, after school closed early, I went to pick my bus, and I realized, okay, even if I get home, I don't have much doing. So let me just, read a few papers here and there. So when I walked into a Borders bookshop, I don't know whether Borders is still, operational right now or not, but Borders used one of the biggest UK book outlets there. So I went to Borders bookshop, and then on the shelves, right, there were all these kind of books there. So I was okay, man. I'm not a reader. I pick a book. It takes me 1 year to finish that, So I was like, okay, let me just pick one. So I pick a newspaper. So as I was flipping through the newspaper page, right, so then I saw a leaflet come out of that newspaper, and that was also advertising for one of the books that had just come out. So I looked on the shelf, and all the books that particular book had been profiled at the top aisle. It was occupying a lot of space. I said, okay, what is this? So I just picked it and I said, okay, the topic also sounds interesting. What is this? So I purchased it. And that book was The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, written by Dr. Stephen Covey. So I picked that. I said, okay, since they are advertising it both in the newspaper and, it's taking a lot of shelf space, might be something. Let me just go and see. So right from the bus, when I sat in to go home, I was just flicking through a little bit. I kid you not, that book took me a long time to finish. It took me probably about 3 months. I was just such a slow reader. Then something happened. I eventually finished reading that book. Something happened. One of the chapters that really resonated with me, it held me to today, was chapter 7. It's called Sharpen the Soul. Actually, I have the book here. This is the book. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I don't know whether the camera can catch it very well, or let me zoom it back a little bit. I'm just trying to see if it can be seen. This book, right. It's quite old now. I have all these several annotations in it. So, Sharpen the Soul was the chapter that really got me going. Basically, I think the whole summary of it was that you have to sharpen the saw on 4 different fronts. Your physical, spiritual, mental, and I think emotional. And basically means that it made the analogy that if you met a farmer and the farmer was in the bush busily trying to cut down a tree. Let's say you stood there for a couple of minutes and they're just busily, and you ask them, hey, sir, what are you doing? You'll be lucky to get a response back from them because they're sweating and trying to exert a lot of force and energy to fall down the tree. You stand there and you tell them, look, how long have you been doing this? You say, oh, I started about an hour ago. And wow, from the pace that you are going and the energy that you're using, why don't you take a break and spend another 5-10 minutes to just sharpen the saw? I think if you do that, it will help cut down the tree faster. That's what the process is based on. I mean, that's what the thing is based on. And what it is, it tells a story of the importance of personal development. Basically, that if that farmer were to take that 5-10 minutes and actually took that time to sharpen their saw, they will be so effective at what they are doing that they will spend less energy in falling down the tree, whatever the tree may be. So in this case, most people, especially Africans, they finish college, university, and they close down the textbook or the notebook that they used to write their thesis, dissertation, or final exam, and they close that book like that. That's the end of it. No, they will never open up any book again. They are done for the rest of their lives. And that is a travesty. It's a travesty in the sense that they have told themselves they have acquired all the knowledge that they think they would need in the pursuit of their career or business, whatever it is, and that's it. They're never learning anymore. At that point, they and the farmer who is falling the tree with a blunt axe, they are no different. Steve Covey gave a quote that was very, very profound. And the quote, I'll paraphrase it, right? It's the person who doesn't read, the person who does not read is no better off. Listen to it very, very well. Is no better off than the person who cannot read. The person who does not read is no better off than the person who cannot read. That is profound. That's a quote from here, Dr. Stephen Covey. And it's so true. This is what happened. Since that time, Sharpen the Soul, in terms of sharpening the mind, he advised that to excel at a higher level of yourself, you have to, what I would say, read broadly to expose your mind to great minds. There's a verse in scripture, in Proverbs, where it talks about iron sharpening iron. So when you say expose your mind to great minds, it means that bring your iron to get your iron sharpened. So just like the same story that Dr. Stephen Covey used in this book about the farmer who was falling the tree, the process of sharpening the saw, sharpening the axe, is the process whereby you are bringing your blunt axe, that's your mind, to be sharpened by the minds of other great minds, by reading their material, by exposing them yourself to their materials, and in so doing, you get sharpened. Now you become very effective. Now you become a high achiever based on the knowledge that you have acquired. Since that time, it's been, let me see, this is 2003. Since 2003, the recommendation was to read at least one book a month. So I started with that. One book a month. I'll try, and a slow reader, lethargic reader, take it a long time, right, to read. Up till now, probably talking about 15, 16 years from now, actually, more than that. More than that, probably 18 years from now. I've been an ardent reader. It started, one book a month, casually reading. Now, I average about 4 books every month. And that was his ultimate suggestion, that if you can do one a week. Just this past weekend, I read 3 books. 3 books, 2 on a Saturday, 1 on Sunday after I returned from church. So I read 3 books in 2 days. That's how fast I read these days. And it didn't happen overnight. It's a gradual thing that happened. And that is what personal development does. Jim Rohn of blessed memories, one of the greatest writers, business writers, inspirational writers of our time, put it this way. And actually, I also heard it from one of the fantastic young preachers in Africa right now. His name is Apostle Johnson Selman. That's the name. Yes, I think Suleiman too is another, but Selman is who I've heard this also from. That he was painting the picture of success in life. That success is like a journey. Most people are going around craving for things. I want more money. I want promotion. I want increase in salary. I want increase this. I want to buy this latest car. I want this, that, right? So they go and they are forcing to get. But he put it this way, that if you're forced to get things and you personally haven't developed to the point where you have the wherewithal to retain or maintain those things that you have forcibly gone to acquire, those things will find a way to exit your life. So let's give an example. So if you've forced to go and get this phone, right? You forced, you pushed, you cajoled, you stepped on people's toes, you did everything to get it. But you don't have the mental strength. You haven't developed you to the point where you can carry this material. This material will find a way to get out of your life. And I think that's profound. And Jim Rohn puts it this way. To get a higher level of achievement or a higher level of stature or status, you need to become a higher level of yourself. So whatever you want to achieve, you have to become a higher level of yourself to achieve it. And Apostle Joshua Selman put it this way, that if you want anything in life, whether it's material, whether it's spiritual, whether it's relationship-wise, learn to grow who you are. Grow who you are first. And as you begin to journey in life, your life now becomes like a magnet. That who you are begins to magnetically attract those things left, right, and center. So now you are not going out there to chase for them, but those things begin to look for you. And I think that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of personal development. To this day, not only have I invested a lot in books, I buy books apart from maybe food, and maybe, God forbid, if I need to buy medicine for myself, maybe you have a toe that is paining me or whatever, and I need maybe a Tylenol or something like that. Apart from food and maybe medicine, that is something that you really need to take. The next thing I spend money most on is my personal developing my brain. I have signed up for many coaching courses. I think right now I probably spend several thousands a year developing myself. Some of the best of the best of the best. Right? One of the programs that I'm on is I wanted to learn more about YouTube. Right, so I signed up for a coaching program by one of the best in the world. That gentleman has like 5-6 million subscribers on his channels, and what a way to learn from the best. And I had to invest in myself. Right, so the advice is that to achieve the best in life, you have to invest in yourself by aligning your mind to the minds of great people. The minds of great people, sometimes you will not be able to get access to them directly to mentor you, but their books are there to mentor you. Their YouTube channels are there to mentor you, right? Their courses are there to mentor you. Their webinars are there to mentor you. So avail yourself to those content over a considerable period of time. Over a long period of time. I think it's Malcolm Gladwell who says that to gain mastery, you have to do something for 10,000 hours. I think I have paid the school fees for 10,000 hours because I've been reading for many years. So once you read for many years, the mindset, sometimes even the spirit of the person that you are reading just even begins to fall upon you, right? And then you begin to speak like them, you begin to talk like them, you begin to walk like them. It's like married couples. If you're married for quite a considerable period of time, even married people begin to start looking like each other. Even though they're both different mothers, different background, but because of proximity, people see that, oh wow, you look like your husband, or your husband looks like you, or you talk like your husband, you reason like your husband, or you reason like your wife. The two of you share something very similar because of that assimilation, that osmosis, that transference of knowledge, and that comes when you lend yourself to amazing personal development. All right. Thank you. I want you to subscribe to this channel. This is a good channel to learn from. Subscribe to this channel so that anytime I create content like this, you will be the first to be notified. Thank you. And do well to also watch this video that I put over here. And it will be a fantastic addition to your life. Thank you so much for your time.